Hi there, this is Homeschooling with a Smile, and today's video is going to be a review about the program Before 5 in a Row for ages 2 to 4. This literature program is the first in a series of literature programs by 5 in a Row, and we are almost done with this program. We are actually rowing our last book this week, and I just wanted to come on and give a little bit of a review of the program, maybe a flip through inside, and let you see what the layout is, what the books are that are required for this program, and just my overall thoughts about it and how my son and I enjoyed it. I used this program with my 3-year-old son. We started it in May, and like I said, we're just about to finish it up with our last book this week. So let's look inside. So if you notice here, this book is spiral bound. So this is the newer version that is out of this, the newer published version. I know there's quite a few other ones that you can buy. I don't know how they differ as far as the content from this, but this particular one I purchased from the Before 5 in a Row website for $35. I know you can also purchase them on christianbooks.com and Rainbow Resources. I saw plenty of people selling them on eBay website. Not this particular version that I found, but like I said, the older versions. And I just decided to go with this one. I like the fact that it was spiral bound, and it's really easy to flip the pages and work on it like this. So those are kind of like the pluses for me for aesthetics anyway. So this is the table of contents. The part 1 is the Before 5 in a Row stories and activities. If you're not familiar with how Before 5 in a Row works, is that the author gives you several books to choose from. Actually, all the books you choose. So there's a list of books that you read, and what you do is you row each book for 5 days. What rowing means is that you read it every night or every day, once a day for 5 days. You can read it more times if you want. No one, you know, there's no rule really, but just how it works is you read it for 5 days in a row. And each day there's an activity that goes along with any particular story. So for this particular book, Jessie Bear, What Will You Wear? I'll just flip to that page number 7, to show you what it looks like. So when you start off with this book, it just gives a brief description, the title, author, illustrator, copyright, whether or not it won any awards, a brief summary, and then it goes right into the Bible reference and an activity where you reference the Bible and you draw experiences from the book and you directly correlate it to the Bible. Now for us and my family, this is one of the main reasons why I chose this literature to do with my son, because I wanted a way to connect the storybooks that he enjoyed reading, that I knew he would enjoy reading, with the Bible. And even though he's young, I wanted to get him to understand that we can take things from everyday life, like we read in a book, and we can directly relate it to our beliefs in Christ and how we relate to the Bible during everyday life. So this was a great connection for us to make, and really one of the main reasons why I purchased this program. Now for those of you who don't have a Christian worldview or who may want to look into this curriculum, you can certainly, in my opinion, use this curriculum no matter what religious background you have or belief system you have. There is so much more to do. There's language arts, there's other ways to connect this particular story. It's loving relationships. Then you have colors, patterns, combinations. So math, fine arts, some more literature, poetry, and then searches within the book that you can do. I love the way the author created this program because it really helps you see a story, listen to a story, look at it with a different pair of lenses. And each time I felt like we read the book, each time it was new and there was something new to learn from it and to take from it. And I think this is the whole idea of this program, is that you can read and read a story over and over again, and still there's so much to know and to learn about what's going on in the story, whether it be the setting, the types of clothing that people wear, emotions, feelings, decision making, all sorts of things. And it's just a wealth of knowledge and information. And for someone like me, who generally would read a book with my children and that would be it, we would maybe talk about it a little bit, but then we'd put the book away and we would just pick it up again on another day and read it again, but we wouldn't really focus too much on any of the little subtleties in the story. And this really has helped me to do that, and I really do appreciate that. It's taught me a lot about teaching my kids through literature, which wasn't really something I knew how to do. So that has been great for us. So that's just one story here. So I'll just quickly try to go through as many as I can, or a few, just to give you an idea. And then I'll talk to you a little bit about what all this stuff is that I've written here. Okay, so another one, let's see, the Green Pocketbook. So here's another one. So title, same thing, same setup, summary, Bible, and then literature for this one. Art, stores, manners, details, zoology, shapes. So every story has different things to learn. There's math, there's science, there's music, there's singing, there's talking about feelings, there's games, just you name it. It draws from a lot of different subjects, and not all of them are the same. Some have a little more than others. Some have are more heavily towards science, others towards math, some more towards poetry. But I feel like there's a good balance of everything here. So here you have the table of contents again. So the way we worked this out was that I went to my local library, online actually, and I put a hold on every single book that I possibly could for this program. The way my library lends out books is that you're allowed to take as many books as you want for up to 3 weeks. So as long as no one is waiting in line, you can renew up to 3 times. So luckily for me, I was able to take the majority of these books out from my library, and I was able to have them for three consecutive week cycles. So by the time I finished with all those, there were a few books that I had to purchase, and so I did that. For whatever reason, I couldn't find them used, or I couldn't find them at my local library or from any friend that had them, so I went out and bought them. The ones that I purchased were My Blue Boat, Goodnight Moon I already had at home, If Jesus Came to My House, Play With Me, I Am an Artist, and Angus Lost. Those are the books I bought from Amazon. Now there's a book here called Jenny's Surprise Summer, which I happened to stumble upon. Now if we go here to page 101, tell you a little bit about Jenny's Surprise Summer. So it says here the book is currently out of print. So yes, Jenny's Surprise Summer is out of print. It is a little golden book and it is out of print, so it's very hard to find. A lot of people sell it on eBay, but I found that it was extremely expensive, over $30 to purchase this book, in some instances way more than that. And so I pretty much gave up hope finding this title, but as I drew closer to the title, the way I set up my books, I was getting closer and closer to having to read this story, and I really wanted to do so in the summer. I happened to go online and I found a website that was selling this book for $10. It was really cheap, and I thought, you know, this is some sort of mistake. But anyway, I put it in my cart and I ordered it, and lo and behold, it came to my door and it was in great condition. And so we were able to read the story, and I'm so glad that we did, because it is a wonderful, wonderful story. I wouldn't recommend buying it for $50 by any means, but definitely worth reading. So the author just basically says that it's a great book, a lot of decision making, a great way to think literally about making decisions at a young age, and I drew a lot from that with my 3-year-old. So that's one of the books you don't have to have, but it's there. You can also buy the literature package from one of the vendors that sell the Before 5 in a Row program. But like I said, for us, it was much cheaper and economical to borrow most of them. Excuse me. The other book that I was not able to buy used or find at my library or even for sale was The Quiet Way Home by Bonnie Becker, which is a book we are rowing this week, our very last book. I saved it for last because I couldn't find it anywhere. I wrote down here YouTube because it just so happens that someone very nice on YouTube, who probably came across the same problem, has it as an audio book. So they basically read the book on video, and my son and I are going to listen to it together, and that is how we will row this last book. And I thought that was super, super cool that someone did that. So I'm excited about that. So pretty much how we rowed each and every book was not by the order that's here, but how I was able to get the books from the library, and just how it correlated, excuse me, to what we were doing or what season it was. I tried to do things so that certain books hit certain subjects. I know I tried to do a bunch of books in July that were kind of Father's Day related, or where the dad was a strong character or something like that. So it took me out of the cycle of what they had here, which was fine. The only drawback to not going in order is that they do an animal classification, I don't want to say game. They do like an animal classification little game, I guess game, where after you read each title, you add an animal from the book, you know, to a chart, you know, a piece of paper, whatever you want to do, and you just keep track of each animal that you're finding in every book that you read, and then at the end you'll have this whole zoo of animals that you've encountered through these books, which I thought was such a great idea. And if I hadn't returned my books, half of them, to the library before I caught on to that little game there, I would have certainly gone back and added all the animals. So that's something to look into if you're interested in doing the character chart, the animal chart with that. But overall, I gotta say, we absolutely loved this program. We loved all the stories. I was amazed by how many stories we had never read before that was in this program. And I thought I, you know, read books to my kids all the time. And I don't want to say that I was reading the wrong books. I guess I just was more guided towards books that were being sold from Scholastic, coming home in the flyers and things like that, that I never really thought about it. But these books were just so wonderful. I really recommend this program to anyone who's interested in reading and learning different subjects through literature. It's really been amazing. I'm actually doing Before 5 in a Row with my daughters. They're going to be starting it in a couple of weeks. I just put my book order in through my library, so that'll be exciting. But yeah, so this was Before 5 in a Row. I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. If you did, please subscribe and hit the like button, and I'll be back again soon with some more videos. Thanks for watching.